Hello, welcome, please come in. It's time to do some more Dark Souls, and per the overwhelming vote of my YouTube channel members and Patreon supporters, we will be beating some Souls games with only whips. And the rules, as usual, are that I can only deal damage to enemies with whips. So, let's make my character. I will be choosing the Sorcerer, for reasons we will get into in a bit, and choose the Master Key, both because it is the best starting item in the game, and I actually need it to get my first whip. The Undead Asylum is a big nothing area because I don't have a whip yet, and the challenge doesn't really start until I do. So, other than picking up my Estus Flask and blasting the Asylum Demon with spells, there is nothing to do here. Once in Lordran, I can start buffing my Dexterity, which will be needed to effectively wield my first weapon, and getting that first weapon means, as usual, a bit of a hike. Down below Firelink, take an elevator, and thanks to the Master Key, I can access the Valley of Drakes, and through there to Blighttown. And it's only been 8 minutes. I am down here because, somewhere amidst this nonsense, is the whip. My first weapon, and boy do I not remember where it is. For many reasons. The biggest being I basically never go through Blighttown the intended way anymore, because why would I? It sucks. Oh, it's in the big well area, is that it? Yes, the whip, now in my possession. And I'm actually surprised I managed to get through all of that nonsense on my first attempt. Now let's see how this damage looks. Okay, yeah, that's pretty terrible. I mean, it's not upgraded, but I don't think that's going to improve it that much. Okay, this surely won't be too terrible. I do have some levers I can pull for damage. We will get to them shortly, but for now it's back up to Firelink Shrine, and it's time to progress more or less as normal. And yeah, that damage is not great, and because the whip doesn't scale off strength, two-handing won't even help the damage. More on that later. Anyway, into Undead Burg, fight my way through to the merchant to buy the Residence Key. I will need this shortly. I also picked up a slightly better shield. I may only be able to hit enemies with whips, but that doesn't mean I can't do some blocking. The Master Key is also kind enough to give me some gold pine resin. This is good throughout the game, but it's going to be most impactful right at the start. So it's worth using one to take down the next boss, the Taurus Demon. Pine resins and other weapon buffs add flat damage regardless of the weapon. Make note of that for later. Which means the gold pine resin is really strong at this stage of the game. Taurus Demon dead, it's time to run past this stupid dragon. I have never figured out a consistent strategy to get this idiot to drop down, and so this takes a few attempts, and maybe a few deaths for it to work. I don't even know why I did that. I'm pretty sure the normal route would have been faster. And then I missed the second shortcut because I die. And then I ladder badly. I will say the damage is not great, the speed of attack is bad, but the range is okay. Maybe even good. I really went from the shortest range with fist weapons to the longest with whips, huh? The basement key is in front of the chapel here, and that makes my next destination easy. Lower Undead Burg. This is not the right door. I need to head over to where the Taurus Demon was, and then deal with dogs. Whips are not great at dogs. I'm not sure any weapon is. But anyway, once I finally deal with the dog situation, I can use the Residence Key to free Griggs. He is the basic sorcery teacher, and he has a very important spell to teach me, and that is Magic Weapon, which is also the reason I started as a sorcerer. Good starting intelligence and attunement. The starting vigor is pretty bad though, that should be my first leveling priority. And I can test out Magic Weapon against this armored knight. See? That's way better damage. Yes, I know it's still bad. There are limits to what Magic Weapon can do, at least for now. And a big change will be popping some souls to buy Titanite shards to get my whip up to +4. That should be a very nice improvement. Oh, I forgot to upgrade my Estus Flask. Let's do that real quick. Ooh, and I always forget the free upgrade in Anor Londo. I should grab that as well. I even managed to evade the ghosts! It's actually going to be faster to go back if I die, won't it? Whee! And we're back in the Undead Parish for the next boss fight, the Bell Gargoyles. Magic Weapon is good, but at least for now, Gold Pine Resin is better. Might as well make these bosses as easy as I can, while I can. And yeah, weapon buffs applying flat bonuses to damage makes whips almost look good. Okay, ring the bell, head back down? Huh, this is a problem. Can you please? Gentlemen, please move. Okay, that was not a necessary death. That was all my gargoyle runes. Need to head back through there, huh? And kill the channeler, and kill this idiot. And, oh, right, Law Trick moves to Firelink automatically. Well, Andre, please upgrade my whip to +5, and I will upgrade my intelligence to a lot. Damage is more important than health. Hello, Law Trick. Good thing the kick in this game doesn't deal any damage. Goodbye, and hello, Fatbring. Love more health and stamina. And with one bell rung, it's time to go for the other. There are a bunch of ways I could improve my damage before doing that, but I'm just gonna rush it and see how it goes. The damage with gold pine resin is okay, but not great, and the duration is pretty short. Well, there goes all that progress, lost to rolling into lava like an idiot. I'm gonna kindle this bonfire. With how effectively I have been dodging Quelaag's attacks, I expect I am going to need 10 Estus to get through this fight. The absolutely awful damage is not helping. In many ways, this is a war of attrition that I keep losing by getting myself stuck in corners between Quelaag and lava. It would be so easy to go do something else. Capra Demon wouldn't be too bad. You could get some dexterity and intelligence to make your attacks less awful. Oh no, we're just gonna do this fight again and again. I'm exaggerating a little bit for comedy. This actually doesn't take that many attempts. It's more that each attempt is very, very long. And once you know her moves, they usually aren't too tricky to dodge. You just need to be mindful of the lava puddles. All in all, this fight took 6 attempts, which is 4 more than it should have, and it also took 35 minutes because wow, were some of those attempts, including the winning one, very long. But the fight is over, which means I can chat with this egg boy, level up my dexterity a lot to make my base whip damage better, and while I'm down here I can also take out Ceaseless. This fight is really easy at any level, with any damage, so it's worth it to do it now, if only for the free souls it represents. Which I will of course be dumping into intelligence. More damage, more better. Vigor can come later. Okay, 2 bells down, and this has honestly gone better than I expected. Oh, you know what? Is the moveset different if you two-hand? It is! Oh, that sweeping is probably going to be much better than the normal R1. Oh well, now I know. I also spent some time off-camera grinding up a bunch of large titanite from the stupid slugs in the swamp. Which means I can already upgrade my whip to... oh right, I can't upgrade the whip because Andre needs a better ember to do that. Which is a thing in this game. If I'm going to get that, I should also pop back to the Undead Asylum to grab the Rusted Iron Ring. I'm absolutely not going to fight the beefier demon here, at least for now, but the ring is easy enough to grab and lets me run through deeper water. Is there even deeper water before the better ember? Oh, I also need the doll. For reasons. We'll get to it. Anyway, back down to Lower Undead Berg. Ooh, I can one-shot the dogs. That should be helpful. I also appreciate the jump attack going through walls, and these thieves would love to parry me. Good thing that's not how whips work. Yeah, I should also unlock the shortcut back to Firelink. The Capra fight can go so badly, so quickly, and into the Capra Demon fight, and some good dodging gets me to the stairs, and that is the fight basically won. I can finish off the dogs pretty easily, and the Capra Demon itself is not very tricky to deal with, especially when I can run back up the stairs to refresh my weapon buff as needed. Into the depths, say hi to this butcher, grab the better ember, and it's back up to Andre. Oh, I should have rescued Laurentius while I was down there. Nah, if I need power within, I can pop back down later. Anyway, big ember means I now have a +10 whip, which means my damage has been improved considerably. It is still bad, though. Oh, now it's time for Sen's Funhouse. This place sucks. The snakes are way more durable than I think they should be, and gravity is an ongoing struggle. At least I can use the traps against them. I have one side goal I need to handle while I'm here, and that is breaking open this wall and freeing Logan from this cell. He will be important later. You'd think having done this so many times I'd be better at navigating this area. And I am, but not nearly as good as I should be. But after a handful of deaths, I get to the second bonfire, and that means the difficult part is over. I even get this jump on the first try. That never happens. Oh, before I head to Anor Londo, I should pop back to Firelink Shrine. Logan has a second copy of Magic Weapon. Double the extra casts probably isn't essential, but it could help in longer sections. Peek behind the curtain, I'm pretty sure I never use Magic Weapon more than 5 times. Hi Giant, give me your chunk. And now it's time for the Iron Golem fight. This fight is slow, and my damage is not... Wait, really? The one time I get the quick kill on this boss is with a whip? Okay, I mean better now than never, but still very strange. Should I boost Vig damage, please? Okay, Anor Londo, and this is a section that I am a bit worried about. No, not you, Gargoyle. Oh neat, got the tail cut. Not that's helpful. And into the rafters, which are awkward with a whip. Good thing whips can cut chains. Oh, hello, second Gargoyle. And by that broken chandelier, I get greater magic weapon, which is very nice. A better magic weapon, meaning even more damage, and just more weapon buff casts. And it's into the painted world because there is an item here that I want to grab. I'm not actually sure if it'll be useful, but when else am I gonna come in here? In this open space, near the Phalanx Demon, you get invaded by Jeremiah, who loves to cast easy-to-punish pyromancies and then dies, dropping the Notched Whip. This deals okay damage and has a bleed effect. Most bosses are immune to bleed, and I don't actually know if the damage is better, but it's worth trying out. Hi, dragon. No, please stop the things that you were doing. It's very gross. And then by hitting this, wait, how does this work? Oh, right, it needs to be a heavy weapon. Well, good thing this isn't an enemy, so I don't have to worry about damaging it. Anyway, that lets me drop down to leave the painted world. Bye, Priscilla. Have fun with your nonsense. Diversion completed, and it's time to head through Anor Londo. Run across some rooftops, dodge some arrows, bait a knight into falling to his death, and we've reached the next bonfire. And actually final bonfire, because I can do another little skip to bypass most of the zone to reach the next boss fight, Orny and Smoo. And this fight has me worried. My damage is not good, my attack speed is worse, and this fight has a not inconsiderable amount of jank to it. On the other hand, Great Magic Weapon is boosting my damage much higher than I expected, and that's actually Smoo down. Huh, that really didn't take very long. And while Orny goes super, it's actually pretty easy to get in a lot of hits. Whip one-shotted Orny and Smoo. Okay, that's... huh? Anyway, that gets me the Lord Vessel, so now I can teleport. I can also buy Titanite from the blacksmith here to start upgrading my notched whip. Again, not sure if it'll be useful, but it's worth checking out. Placing the Lord Vessel unlocks the golden doors, which means it's now time to, clean house, as it were. Sorry, Spider Lady, you have a Firekeeper soul. Next up is this lady. One thing I can say about whips is they are pretty good at taking out NPCs. The AI just does not know how to handle the weird reach and weird timing whips have, which is good for me, and it's over to the Duke's Archives. And given my damage is basically all magic damage, and this place is Magic Land, I'm really glad you can run past basically all enemies in this zone, because wow, it would not be fun at all. I just need to die very carefully to not get cursed. Nice, then kill whatever these things are supposed to be. And more snake men. I really hate the snake men. That gets me the key, and I can turn off the awful music. Wait, where is the key to Logan's cell? Googling... oh, right, now I remember. That means I can just leave for now. I will be back shortly. Rotate some stairs, do some drops, it's bonfire time, and there's the key for Logan's cell. Hi Logan, please be free. I need your quest to progress a bit. Hello again, Logan. Thank you for the crystal magic weapon, the best weapon buff I will get access to. Probably not going to be super useful against the magic dragon, but I never turned those Firekeeper souls in. Let me just do that real quick. And it's into the Crystal Cave and into the Seath fight, because the Crystal Cave is very short. It does look like 2 clams followed me in, that should be fine. Seath usually deals with them himself if you let him, and now let the really tedious boss fight commence. That's not ideal. Oh, I'm also very far away. I should probably buy some purging stones. Dying to Seath, that's embarrassing. Who would do that? So anyway, I died to Seath a few more times because I just forget how to be aware of my surroundings, I guess. Seath is not a hard fight, but if you aren't careful, you can get screwed by positioning with his crystal spawning attacks. If you pay really any attention, it's not that bad, but apparently I wasn't gonna do that, so it happened several times. We will skip over that, because it's not interesting, but suffice it to say, even done well, this is not a quick fight. My damage is bad on a good day, and while Crystal Magic Weapon provides a decent buff, that doesn't help too much against Seath's high magic damage negation. Eventually I managed to not be incompetent long enough to win the fight though. Now, let me just go buy another purging stone to resolve my curse, and it's into the demon ruins. Because if I'm gonna die stupidly and repeatedly, it might as well be to the bed of chaos. But before that, I need to have all my weapons break, and die to this centipede. Any slow weapon is so annoying for this. If only there wasn't a bonfire lock behind this jerk. Anyway, next boss, another asylum demon. Woo! Oh, this is actually a pretty good opportunity to use the notched whip. The base damage is lower, but it has bleed, so it's probably stronger overall? Maybe? It's easy either way. Then the centipede demon. Good thing I started buffing my vigor, because that lava is no joke. And the damage against the centipede is fine. Not exceptional, but it chunks through the boss fast enough. And the centipede demon is not good at actually hitting you. And that means it's time for everyone's favorite nonsense, the Bed of Chaos. This fight is stupid, it just sucks, so naturally I get it on the first try. With whips. I think this is the first time I've ever one-shot the Bed of Chaos. And it was with whips. I don't know what's happening here. And while on the way to my next destination, I might as well upgrade the notched whip to +10 as well. Am I gonna use it again? Probably not. But hey, wasn't gonna use that Titanite anyway. And then it's time for another boss, the Moonlight Butterfly. This boss is optional, but it's also pretty easy at this point in the game. Even with its high magic resistance, my whip deals enough damage to 2-cycle it. This gets me a shiny new ember that I won't actually be using at any point, and now I need to run through the forest to the next boss on my list, Seath. This is another boss I could have fought earlier in the game, so despite not actually playing especially well, this fight is not particularly difficult. I'm just dealing too much damage. I mean, relative to where we are. This is still pretty awful damage. That gets me the Covenant of Artorias, which I'll need a bit later. Oh shoot, I forgot to grab the Sunlight Maggot. Again. Let me just run back through this stupid lava land, beat up these maggots, and there we go. Light. Because my next destination is very dark. Good thing I have so many homeward bones. But with that lighting, it's time to head into the bone zone with all these skeletons. I picked up fall control from Griggs to make the quick drop downs through here even safer, and it's pinwheel time. And pinwheel time has ended. As usual, that was super easy. Lights on, and it's time for sliding fun through the Tomb of the Giants. Throughout through here is just run, hug the right wall, and do some drops. Then through the Pinwheel Expo, and it's time to once more drop into the next boss fight. And this could actually get spicy, because I don't have a divine weapon, meaning that the skeletons will die, but they won't stay dead. My damage is passable though, and the two-handed attacks do a really good job of sweeping through skeletons and Nito. Also, Nito loves to hit his own skeletons, so the fight actually goes a lot better than expected. And with Nito dead, I only have one big soul left to find, and that means it's back to Anor Londo to run past some very stabby ghosts, grab the key to the seal from this guy, and open said seal to undrown Anor Londo. And this is where the problems are. So, these boys drop Titanite chunks to fully upgrade my weapon. Normally they aren't that dangerous because you can parry and riposte them. Whips can't riposte. And the whip attack is slow and weak enough, even crystal buffed, that I need to parry multiple times in a row. And I am not actually good at parrying. Really at all, so it often goes poorly. There's also a slight issue that the best ember, which I will need to fully upgrade my weapons, is hiding behind like 4 of these jerks, and a big goo ball, though the big goo ball is a lot less scary. Okay, this is not working. There must be enough Titanite chunks lying around to upgrade at least one weapon fully, right? Let's pull up the wiki. Oh, the Black Knights drop chunks? Okay, there's a few of those hanging around I should be able to kill pretty easily. More dropped by the boulder dropping giant. I definitely remember how to get up there. No, not here. Oh, right here. Also, I meant the gate giant, not the boulder giant. And another chunk outside the big blacksmith room. Almost there, just need a few more. I should also pop by the secret room in Anor Londo while I'm running around. Havel's armor should be very useful. There are probably other places I can grab chunks that would just be really annoying. However, I did discover that these big shieldy boys also have a chance to drop chunks. And while I would not recommend it in most playthroughs, they are easier to kill with a whip than the jerks in Anor Londo. I also finally got my dexterity to the soft cap of 40. Huzzah! Big damage! And there we go! Enough chunks to finally get my weapon up to plus 14. Wait, where do I normally get a slab? Oh, right, the Asylum Demon. Wow. Even at endgame, this boss is pretty chunky. I definitely recommend Bleed for this guy. Anyway, back to the parish, and that's a plus 15 whip. And no, I will not be using the notched whip. It sucks. Bleed is just not that useful in this game. And fully buffed up, it's time for the DPS race of the game, 4 kings. But first, let me get stabbed a few times and fail to run across the bridge. Great start, me. Anyway, Havel's armor for the best defense, and it's time. And honestly, that damage is not bad. Like, it's not good, but thanks to Crystal Magic Weapon, I'm actually outpacing the king's respawns. I'm always pretty concerned about this fight, because you really just need to do enough damage very quickly, or you will get overwhelmed. But here at least, that's not a problem. I didn't even need to grab Power Within. And that means one boss left to go. And this is a boss that should be easy, but could actually be a problem. Gwyn is usually pretty easy to parry, and riposte can deal big damage. Enough that even my terrible parrying skills are usually enough to make this fight not suck. However, that's not really an option with whips. I could still parry with my shield, but whips don't riposte. And even buffed, they also don't deal that much damage. And without parrying, Gwyn is surprisingly aggressive. It can be pretty difficult to get in any attacks or heal after you've been hit. And yeah, that's about what I figured. Not a good fight. What's my plan here? I mean, I could do the same strat as the 4 kings. Don't roll, just block. And let Havel's armor reduce the damage of the attacks I do get hit with. I'm not sure I like this strategy, but I don't actually know that I have a better one. But wow, it is actually working. I'm not great at parrying, but Havel's armor drastically reduces the damage I take from bad parries. And while I can't riposte, a successful parry frees me up to drink an Estus or get an attack in. And as long as I don't panic, I can actually save a bad parry by just parrying the second attack in the combo. Havel's armor really does most of the work in reducing damage and stopping me from getting knocked back. This is not a great showing of a Gwyn fight, and it's not even close to the cleanest I've ever fought this boss. On the other hand, it does work, and Gwyn goes down. And that was Dark Souls 1, beaten with only whips. And I have to say that went way better than I expected. With all the bad things I've heard about whips, I was really expecting this to be a nightmare, but it really wasn't. Most fights were completed in the same, or even fewer attempts than normal, which is really weird. But I will have more to say about that in the summary video, out in a few weeks. I did want to shout out that I do have a Patreon, linked in the description. I spend a lot of time making these videos, so if you enjoyed the video, want to support the channel, and are financially stable enough to do so, that exists. No pressure though, this channel is free to enjoy for everyone, and will remain that way. For now, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of this, feel free to subscribe. Hey, maybe leave a comment if you have something you'd like to say. But whatever you decide to do, have a safe trip home.